Is it too early in the Sunday to ask what the hedgehog with the chainsaw PFPs are?
Okay, so it's like a whole meme thing that's complete accident. But basically, I was describing in a town hall about items in the game, and I didn't want to give away any alpha, so I just picked a random item. I just happened to look at a picture of a chainsaw, so that's where the chainsaw came from. And then last week or week before, I can't remember now, I went outside to feed a hedgehog. I tripped over the door frame and I jammed the door handle in my shoulder and dislocated my shoulder and then popped it back into place. So everyone was making fun of me for going to feed a hedgehog. So now we have a hedgehog
No way.
with a chainsaw.
You really can't make this stuff up, you know?
I mean, it sounds fake, to be honest.
And the hedgehog's name is Beta. So there's like a whole thing about it.
Beta the hedgehog. Okay.
And its name is Beta because the great debate between the UK and the US folks is beta versus beta. So there we go.
Wait, Linq, how do you say it? Do you say it the same way as Tom?
Yeah, I say it the proper way, yeah.
Okay,
the proper way,
okay. Yeah, there you
I didn't even know there was a debate. It's beta, isn't it?
Yeah, it
No.
takes big brain people.
You
to
mean
realize
Beta, right?
Oh boy.
Just like Beta. What are we
Here we
talking about
go.
at the moment?
Yeah, this might be a short spaces, huh?
Yeah.
There's like 50 words that get pronounced differently depending on which country you're in. So yeah, we'll add that to the list.
Welcome to the Cool Cats world, that UK American divide.
I love that.
I'll
And
be honest. In the UK, people will pronounce it depending on like the miles away from each other they are.
And it also depends on how much water and how much aluminium they have.
Aluminium. Man, y'all are blowing my mind. Okay.
The biggest alpha of the day.
How do y'all say tomato? Curious.
Tomato? Tomato. Tomato.
Tomato.
Tomato? I don't even know.
I love that. So, okay. So, putting it in your words, or at least in your vernacular, the Cool Cats Beta launched 2 days ago. Is that correct?
On Friday, yeah.
Friday.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'd love to, get cracking on how that's been, what Cool Cats holders could expect. I mean, even introductions, guys. It's so incredible to have all of you. Shout out to Becks, by the way. Big bucks, Becks. Metaverse HQ GOAT. We love you, Becks. And we were so excited that when y'all picked her up, we had one of our very own with the Cool Cats team. That's really awesome. Cool Cats has historically, been on our radar for quite some time, ever since the public sale. And I think a lot of us, me included, would love to learn more about how Cool Cats came about, and then just like the origin story behind that, how the entire team came around together and helped launch this project and see it succeed into. It's not my words, it's the words of the community, a blue chip NFT. So maybe we could start by giving introductions. I can go first if you'd like. Represent Metaverse HQ alongside Kenny. We've got Jake, who is the leader of Metaverse HQ. We've got Poop. Admin does an insane amount of work with us. Wanted to bring our boy Jacob Meyer along because he is an absolute diehard Cool Cats fan, and also Metaverse HQ OG. And JJ is the voice of our voice chat, our budding 24/7 alpha chat that we have, where we perform qualitative research on NFT projects around the metaverse. We aren't as degenerate as people might think. There is a sort of precision to our degeneracy. I think that gets lost in the woodwork. And I'd love to give this opportunity to the Cool Cats team to make introductions and give us a little bit about what your contributions to the team has been so far. And maybe we can start from there and roll into how Cool Cats came about. Sound good?
Very cool.
Sounds good. I guess we'll just kick it off with one of us. This is Clon. I'm going through the Cool Cats account for this. I'm the artist for Cool Cats. I created Blue Cat many, many years ago, and has been something I've been drawing for lots of years. And then one day decided to bring it to the blockchain, and through all of that, Linq, Evan, and I all found each other. Or Tom, I'm sorry, Tom, Linq, Evan, and I all found each other kind of through this process a little bit before, and then we all started Cool Cats together as a team. I don't know who wants to introduce themselves next, but
I gotcha. And so Clon and I went to design school together in Georgia, some Atlanta boys. So we'd always been sharpening our design swords together. But he's more of an illustrator. I'm more of a designer. Although we're both do design work, but I do a lot of the design and a lot of the branding for Cool Cats. I did a lot of marketing stuff too, but mostly passed a lot of that up to Frex, who's been holding it down as well. But yeah, we swing around the creative sword a lot, and we bumped into Tom and Linq through Twitter. They were launching, or they had launched, they had launched Fatacrins, and it was their project, and we had been working on Clon and I had been working on something that, long story short, our dev decided to part ways, and we chanced upon Fatacorns and got into their Discord and found Tom and Linq and connected with them, and we're like, wait a second, what if we all could combine forces in some capacity? But that's my little spiel. I'll pass it over to these guys.
Hey, so I'm Tom. So I'm one of the devs behind Cool Cats, and as the guys said, we kind of met off the back of Fatacorns, and Colin and Evan came to Linq and myself with something they were working on. They had all the ideas and the art and stuff, but they didn't have any dev knowledge. And to be honest, to start off with, we were like, no, sorry, we just don't have time to help. We're really super busy with our own project. But we know how demoralizing it is when you've got something and you just can't do anything with it. So we decided, yeah, we'll help you out. So Linq kind of spun up a website for them. And then, sorry, my dog's going nuts. But then in the midst of that process, sorry about that, guys. One sec.
What a cool pet!
And not only did Linq spin it up, but in like 1 or 2 days flat, where he's like, we give him the Figma file, he gives us back like pixel perfect, just unicorn status, so clean. We're like, are you kidding me? You just made this in your spare time? So he blew our minds with that one.
Yeah, and then after that, sorry, go on, Linq.
Oh, go on. I'm lagging a bit. Just carry on.
Okay. So, after that, I suggested to Clon and Evan, like, why don't we join forces? You guys do the artwork, we do like the coding side. And originally it was kind of like maybe not, don't know. And then a few days passed, and eventually they came back, and I believe Colin had his Blue Cat at that point. And then from then on, we started working on Cool Cats. So yeah, I'll pass it over to Linq.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, really, because I feel like all of us, like even now, like we blinked and then all of a sudden we were like, what's happening? Like so much stuff is just going on. Me and Tom play this like stupid game, and like the Christmas version of it's coming out again, and we're like, what? It's Christmas already? Like I feel like we've only been so yeah, it's like pretty crazy. Like stuff's just going so fast. But yeah, so in terms of me, I build the website. I've been doing some of the UI UX stuff on it. We've got a beta test going at the moment, so I'm trying to get all those bugs done. But some really good feedback. People seem to be enjoying it, and we can't wait to just keep launching more and more and getting it tested, because the beta testers are doing an awesome job. And they're so polite as well. It's like, sorry, I've reported another bug. I'm like, yeah, please do.
And then I'm Becks. I originally found Cool Cats during launch day, actually, and immediately fell in love with the team and the project and the community, and was asked to become a mod pretty early on, and did that for a little while, and then more recently became their senior NFT analyst. So I'm officially on the team now, and it's been I'm just so grateful for it every day. I love working with this team and helping Cool Cats grow. So yeah, and I am an MVHQ as well, so I'm a bit of a bridge between the two groups. So it's really nice seeing everyone come together.
Hear, Becks.
We love you, Bex, and thank you for sharing. So I think that a lot of the hype and sort of the publicity, especially with NFT projects, sort of centralizes around the artist. And Clon, you're the invention of the cool cat and sort of your story behind it. I'd love to dive into that more, but I really can't say enough for how important it is to have an all-star team of founders to help bring this project to the masses, to help deploy what the long-term vision. I think devs don't get enough love. I think it's very easy to blame and say devs do something. At the end of the day, it takes a village, and I'll say this all the time at Metaverse HQ. It really does take a village to be successful, and I think what y'all bring to the table and all of your expertises. I mean, the floor price alone, not even looking at that, what you guys have built is like a cultural NFT phenomenon. I mean, you're one of the most awesome NFT projects to get into, and if I don't buy like old Mitch, I don't buy blue chip projects ever. I'm sort of like a move forward, eyes forward, like profit take, what have you. But Cool Cats would be the only blue chip project that I would actually invest in. And Bex, I've been telling you this for weeks now.
Yeah, I know you hate investing in blue chips, so it's a big deal you're considering it.
I really am. I mean, maybe we could take the spaces. Maybe you guys could share a little bit more about the vision. Let's just assume that no one knows what Cool Pets are, and the beta launched 2 days ago. I mean, what have y'all been up to? What have y'all been cooking since NFT NYC? And what are some of the things that the NFT space can look to expect from the Cool Cats team?
So, since NFT NYC, we have been building out I guess best word for it would be a universe. So we've got lore and everything, storylines all being built out. We've got the ability for cats to claim a friend or a pet, if you like, and then essentially nurture that pet from an egg to a final creature. And that final creature can take on one of four elements, so earth, fire, wind, and water. The attributes of the final pet are not directly affected by the interactions, it's the element that is. But every pet that comes out is so two fire pets will never look the same. They'll all be unique. But the magic in the system is that we have given the users the ability to completely have control over which element they get by having control over which items they interact with their pet. But there's a kind of fun little game involved in that, because we don't actually ever expose what each of the items specifically does in terms of the elements. We give them a mood, and that mood relates to the constituent elements within that item. So it's basically up to the community to work together to try to figure out which items might get you to a fire creature or a water or an earth or whatever you want. And as the holder, you might be looking on OpenSeas and see that, okay, 50% of people have gone for fire, only 20% have gone for water. I want my pet to be worth more because it will be rarer, so I'm going to aim for water, and you have complete control over that. So that's just one of the fun things we're doing.
And then, in addition to pets too, I mean, the NFT space was sort of like the inception birthing, but we have tons and tons of plans and meetings behind the scenes to scale out into a variety of different industries and offerings that also transcend the blockchain. So, I think in order to really solidify that spot of a worthy title of like a blue chip token, we really want to everything that we do and everything we bring to market, we want it to transcend the blockchain. So NFT we're always going to be, in the NFT space, obviously, but that was our starting point. But we got all sorts of plans and plots and ideas to get out there in a whole other different realms as well.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm most excited about is kind of the game theory behind it and how you don't really know what you're getting, so it's a little bit random. But I mean, I'm sure after all the sneak peeks, I'd be happy with whatever I got. So it's super exciting with all the combinations.
Yeah, I think it's also worth mentioning that the sneak peeks you guys have seen, that is in no way the full array of combinations. There is, I mean, to be honest, we don't know what the final outcome is going to be. We've got no idea what the whole population is going to look like. But there's some really funky attributes that Clon has put together. And when you put some of them together, you get some really funny looking creatures. Like through testing, we managed to get one that basically looks like Mr. Bean that I absolutely love. And there's something for everyone. Something that someone thinks looks super weird, other people in the community absolutely love, and that's their like favorite one that they want to get. So it's gonna be really fun seeing what people actually try to strive to get.
Yeah, you got cute ones, you got like cooler looking ones that are more hardcore or whatever, and then you got the really just unique looking ones. Kind of to fit that same like cool cat style.
They're not weird, they're unique.
Yeah, they're unique. They're not weird. Yeah.
They're
all
essential.
lovable.
Ones that you really want to look after and really stress of. They're amazing.
So if I can ask, how does that work with the items? Is that something that you acquire through playing with the pets, or is it something you gotta do like events for? How does it work with interacting with the items and acquiring those items?
So when you join the system, and you say, for example, you've got a cat, we'll do two scenarios. One, you own a cat. One, you don't own a cat. So if you own a cat, then you can claim gold within our system, and that's an ERC20 on Polygon, and that goes no cost to you for claiming that because we pay all the gas in the Polygon system. And then you can go to our shop and buy a pet box using the gold. You can crack the pet box open, and you will get a random selection. Again, some more random game theory stuff for you guys. Like we get a random selection of items. And then you can just choose to either feed those, like basically interact with those items with your pet. So there's different stuff like there's pet food, there's pet bed, there's pet friends. By interacting, it is a consumable event, so it will disappear. And then that will progress your pet a little bit further. And through all of your interactions, you might decide you want a particular item. And obviously, because the cracking of the pet box is random, you might not get the item you want. So because of that, we've also created a marketplace where you can basically put up for sale any of the items that you get hold of. So there might be particular items that people are going for. And so if you wanted to, you could put them on the marketplace with a small markup and make a profit on them. That's up to you. But to help the community, to help the marketplace not get out of hand, obviously because items come from these pet boxes, the pet boxes have a fixed price. So that will tether the market within constraints to stop it from just running away from itself. So that's the kind of I own a cat route. If you don't own a cat, there is what we're calling the Adventurers Guild, and you can go there, and to start off with, there'll be some kind of like wild pets, and these are ones that no one really owns. You can essentially borrow them or hire them out and go and take part in quests. And then upon completing a quest, you'll be given gold and potentially items, depending on the quest that you're doing. And then you can use that gold or sell the items and then continue with the process as anyone else would. So there's definitely two paths of entry here. One is more of a time investment, and the other is a cat investment. But it's basically open to anyone.
I see. Thank you for that answer. And wild pets, it sounds kind of like Pokemon. And these quests, are those, the success rate always guaranteed, or is that something determined by like your pet's attributes, let's say, or the items they have?
I'll let Linq take that if he's got signal.
Yeah, can you guys hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, with questing, we released a little sneak peek of some of the stuff, but we want to make it quite varied, so you don't feel like you're slamming through quests and it's like, well, obviously, I'm just going to go for this quest every time. So we've got some random variants in there. So, for example, there might be a quest which has a bonus for the current element you're using, but that might not give you the item that you're specifically looking for. So there's going to be a lot of decision making as opposed to this quest gives me this much gold. So obviously I go for that one. And then the other thing we're looking at is tiered quests. So you might roll your quests. You might get all common ones and then one rare quest. That just as an example, like we've not fixed the numbers on that yet, but and then if you get that rare quest, you might initially think, yeah, that's definitely what I want to go for, but that might not give you the bonus for your current element. So actually, the correct decision might be to go for the common ones. So there's always going to be some decision making. It's always the most efficient route is going to be like manually looking at them and making the correct decision, not just rare, okay, click, go, done. So we've got a lot of decision making in there as well.
Is there a success rate also a thing with the quest?
So there is a success rate. It's kind of going to be like a you'll never fail the quest. There'll be like the way we're going to try and do it anyway is that there's like a variance. So you might have a minor success or a major success. So we just use this one as an example. So like save the forest. It might be like you go to save the forest, and then the minor success is you managed to save a little bit of the forest, but you also brought back some cool wood or something. So it's clear like, oh, maybe that didn't quite go to plan. So we got some funny stuff in there. Or you might get the major success and it's like, yeah, we managed to basically put the fire out and the forest is saved kind of thing. So there's always got to work off of minor success and major success as opposed to success and failure.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I can see all sorts of in-depth decision making that has to go into play when you're doing this and interacting with items. Like, if I interact with my item, it becomes more finite. I'm guessing the supply, and it's obviously a lot to think about already. So thank you for sharing about that.
Yeah, it's cool. Thanks.
And I'm pretty sure the question that's on everyone's mind is, and I know that you won't be able to battle your pets initially, but is that something planned for the future?
I mean, in the beta test, all we've put in the beta test is just a button that says battle. I mean, I think that's all we've said so far. So
a good nothing burger for you.
Come up with whatever theories you like.
Love it.
Linq, I love how your answers always work better when looking at that frog face you have.
I know. Well, this is my real face.
Yeah.
Yeah, a selfie.
I think so. I think a lot of people might have heard Polygon, like the game's going to be on Polygon, or at least this next venture, this next phase. And if you're not familiar with Polygon, it is an L2. It is a layer 2 to the Ethereum blockchain. So the original Cool Cats collection is on the Ethereum blockchain, and it sounds like the new game will be on Polygon. Was there a specific reason why y'all chose that blockchain in particular? I know Zedron, Crypto Raiders, Chicken Derby, some of our favorite games at Metaverse HQ have also leveraged Polygon. Did you find this? How did you find this blockchain to be more attractive than a couple of the other gasless and instantaneous ones?
So with Polygon, the biggest advantage for us is it's battle tested. So we looked across a load of options, things like Immutable X, but you've probably heard a lot of stories about projects that have launched on Immutable X and they've run into rate limiting issues, and there's just a lot of things that aren't battle tested. So we wanted to go with something that we knew was going to perform as expected across the board. Obviously, there's always going to be times when a chain doesn't do exactly as expected. I mean, we've all seen that when we're using OpenSeas, but in general, that's the key reason, just for reliability, basically, and of course the cost.
I guess another important part is about the fact that all the big ticket items are still on mainnet.
Yeah. So that's something we haven't really covered. So anything in Cool Cat World that is a big ticket item that you as the user might want to sell for whatever 10, 20 ETH, whatever it ends up being, who knows. Those are all on Ethereum. And we've done this deliberately because if, for example, you can buy a pet box and you can crack it open and you get an apple, and realistically the Polygon price for that apple is like $2 or $3, who knows what it's going to end up being. I'm just kind of like throwing ideas out. Then it does not make financial sense to put that onto Ethereum, purely because the cost of buying that in gas is going to far exceed the actual value of the item itself. So it just didn't make sense. And it also allows, for a cat user, for example, as you get the gold in the system, you can go from claiming your gold to interacting with your pet through the various stages to final form without ever spending anything. You just claim gold and use that throughout the entire system. So you never have to throw any additional money in, pay for gas, anything like that.
Which, how nice is that? Because how many of these other platforms or instances where it's like, oh, this $50 gas fee real quick. Oh, I got to sign this 100 times. Oh, another $250 gas fee. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I have to level it up again. Well, this is going to suck. Like how nice is it to just not have to pay for any of that?
I definitely think being on layer 2, if you want people to actually interact with your game on the chain, no one wants to pay 40, 50 bucks in gas at a time, just merely interact with your application, right? So I think being on layer 2 is the only thing that really makes sense engagement-wise to scale. I appreciate that route, guys, and I'm really excited to try the beta.
Yeah, thanks. It took us a while to come up with a nice plan for it, but I really hope it's going to work. I mean, the beta test is there for us to test and find out. Maybe there's a glaring mistake that we've just missed, but hopefully the beta test will flag that up and we can address it before obviously we go for full release.
So, if I may ask about that beta, is the beta still open or is it closed? And if it is open, how does one get on that beta?
So the beta test, thanks for pronouncing it correctly. The beta test is is still open. We put out a form, I think, Wednesday, and had 700 or 800 people apply. We asked people to tell us what their skill set was. So, for example, Solidity developer, front-end developer, web designer, UI designer, product manager, that kind of stuff. And then drop us, if they had one, a LinkedIn so that we could verify that people are what they say they are. Because obviously we're going to end up people jumping in saying, oh, I'm a developer because I want to get in on the beta test. And realistically, we did want developers, a majority of developers and designers on it, and people who do QA testing for a living, so that we can get the best response, feedback possible. So it's as efficient as we can go forward with a kind of public beta test. So we still have like 700 people who are waiting or would like to get on the beta test. If we need people, we'll cherry pick some from that list, or maybe just do a random selection to throw some more in. And to be honest, that might happen because with anything that goes public, you're always going to get people that get bored, or life gets in the way. So we've got like 100 beta testers right now. Who knows, next week we might have 50 left because the rest of them have gone off and done stuff. So we might have to throw some new people in. So if that is the case, we'll probably just cherry pick them from the list we've already got. just to be fair to people.
Awesome.
And I'm one of those beta testers. So if anyone in Metaverse HQ has questions along the way, I may be able to answer those as I'm trying to, break the tool and find bugs and that sort of thing. I'm really excited to be a part of that group. So thank you for letting me jump in on that.
Thanks, 6 Mil. You're a legend.
6 Mil, how's it been going so far? Have you liked it?
I have loved it so far. I need to dive deeper into it. This being Thanksgiving week and my kids off of school, I've been traveling a lot, but I've done a lot of Q&A testing of a variety of tools. So I hope to bring that skill set to the group and offer something helpful to the Cool Cats team.
That's awesome. I'm glad too that you're putting your kids before the beta as much as we love the beta.
Well, I wanted to ask a question related to sort of the gamification of the pets universe here. I loved the Tepnu treasure hunt, to count the clouds, and I'm a huge Cool Cats fan. I want to understand a little bit of the history of some of the either scavenger hunts or games or other gamification that inspires you. Because I kind of want to understand how you guys think and what gets your juices flowing for gamification like this.
I knew the frog would have a good answer.
While Linq sorts himself out.
I literally keep getting muted. Why do I keep...
No, getting rugged.
It's the anti-frog bias.
I don't know, Linq. You troll us so much. Sometimes it's hard to know if it's you or not.
Yeah, we honestly don't know. I think he's going to read.
Wow.
Okay.
Just,
I got a different question. I want to hear from Clon a bit. Actually, I'm a fellow Georgia boy. I live in the Atlanta suburbs.
Let's go.
Yeehaw.
Woohoo! Yeehaw! So I kind of want to hear a little bit of the history of the art here. I know that it started as maybe almost a decade ago with the Blue Cats, and that it has a long history, even selling sort of like physical prints at like art festivals and things like that. And I want to know, was there like a low point in that journey where Cool Cat NFTs may have never happened if you had made a different choice? And I don't bring that up to bring up like a sad story necessarily, but more so to inspire people who are really proud of their art, but just haven't found their path yet. And so I wonder if there's a story there.
Yeah. So, the story of Blue Cat is sort of, I was just that story of, doodling on the side of my homework and not listening in class. And slowly, people started to enjoy the little cartoons I would draw on the side of my homework. And so I eventually started just doing that more and more and more. And I created like, oh, perfect. There's a pinned message above that kind of shows the timeline of Blue Cat. And like the first one you see there in 2013 is when I started this 100 days drawing thing. And that was sort of for me just to force myself to draw something every day, create a character, see what happens. And the cat characters seem to be kind of a fan favorite, personally, and to people on Instagram. And then kind of going forward, after that I created the Cattoonist, and that's when I really took the deep dive on the character and wanted to develop it as Blue Cat. And that was in 2015. And I did a lot of different things in 2015. And one of the biggest things was this event called, or not really an event, it was just a thing you did every Friday. It was called Free Art Friday ATL. And it was something in Atlanta where you would make like a wood cutout or just like anything creative, and you'd go hide it around the city, take a picture of where it is with some sort of context in the background, and then people would go hunt for it. And so through this, I got to meet all these artists in the space in Atlanta, and that kind of propelled me to keep going. And so I did the Cartoonist, and it eventually got to a point where I started to get sad with where it went. It was more about being a cat and less about the illustration, and it slowly just kind of ate away at me. And so in 2018, there's actually a post. I was looking at it the other day. It was like one of my last posts in 2018, and it's just this like slow video of Blue Cat's hands like zooming towards his face, and there's like a computer in the background, and it's kind of like blurring. And to me, that was just like I was losing my touch with it. And so I put it down for many, like 3 years, I guess, and sketched it here and there, but otherwise just kind of left it alone. And then the blockchain came, and Evan kind of introduced me to NFTs, and then we kind of told the story before, but before we knew it, it was like, wait, why don't we just use this character I've had on Instagram for like years? Everything's already there. I know, like, this is the art style I draw in. So here we are today, kind of thing. And, you know, it's just a testament of something might not work out immediately. It just kind of, you might have to take it from a different angle or just kind of rehash it or something. I don't know. But never consider something over, because I did with Blue Cat and like genuinely thought it was over, and then brought it back to the blockchain. And now I get to see a bunch of people with my cat as their profile picture, and it's just like a dream come true every day.
See, I think that's super inspiring. I think that as you know, as a character designer, as an artist, I think, you know, it's important to sort of like step away from certain projects, especially if you've been heavily focused on it for a while, and try some other things, but then revisit it with fresh eyes. And also, what I hear in this story is it's good to have uh, artistic friends to lean on who can give you that sort of like outside perspective, like, hey, I care about you and your art. This is an opportunity to revive something that you care deeply about. And so I think leaning on others in the artistic community is a big deal. So that's an inspirational story.
100%. And like, obviously Evan was the one to support me in getting it into the blockchain. But it was also like all those artists in Atlanta were just, we were all supportive of each other, just like, you know, doing collaborations, hyping each other up, shouting each other out. And it's huge. Like, it's just like any little community, but the little artist community, we're always looking out for each other. It's rarely ever competition.
And I see that a lot in how all four of you, the founders of Cool Cats here, approach this project in relationship to other NFT projects. And that's part of what draws me to Cool Cats, is that I feel like you guys care about the greater NFT community, and you don't see it as an end-sum game where you're willing to promote other people's stuff, help people with their coding. Like, that's the whole premise behind Paper Cats, and like trying to build up this great community. And that's part of why Cool Cats is my favorite NFT project. Like, I love your guys' attitude about the space.
Thank you. Yeah, and I mean, just like when Tom and Linq had helped us with our Evan and I, like our project before, they were willing to help us regardless, and that was true when we started Cool Cats. I remember they spun up like a tech channel, and if anyone ever had a question, they were there to answer it. And I just know that was extremely helpful for certain people, and they've talked about it.
Yeah, along those,
and what I was gonna
go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick, you pointed out, like it's definitely imperative and important that, you know, like artists support artists, but I think a lot of artists are getting into the NFT space for the first time, and they don't have much technical or dev knowledge, and it's a killer opportunity to collaborate with on the other side. You know, like it's really easy to default to your comfort zone of like, oh, I'm an artist, I want to make NFTs, but I don't know where to start, so like I don't even know who to talk to, so I'm just not going to do it, kind of thing. But having people who are on the other side, where you can just be like, hey, explain this to me like I'm a third grader. Like, what am I missing here? And having people who are willing to sort of take your hand and like walk you through limitations or implications. It's what I'm getting as it's the NFT space is a great opportunity for artists to also collab with the other side, like the tech folks, the dev folks, if they are confident in like taking the first step and trying to collab with each other, because it's a two-way street. Like definitely support artists and people in your own industry, but it's also a very like empowering new space that other industries can just help and support each other. It's a really cool thing to see.
Yeah. And just to speak briefly, if I could, on the other side, like speaking as a dev myself, who couldn't draw a straight line or a circle to save my life, I definitely found code as a medium where I could actually get my creative side expressed well. And I do actively look for collaborations, and I can't be alone here. So I would definitely encourage all the artists to reach out, even public forums, communities, whatever you're a part of, because I promise there's someone in one of those communities looking for opportunities as well.
Yeah, finding that match is a big deal.
I'll second that notion. The amount of devs that I get contacting me and artists both asking for the other side is something. As soon as I've got some time, and that should hopefully be sooner now, because I actually start on Cool Cats full time on Wednesday, because I've only just finished my IRL job. I'm going to try my best to see if I can put something together to help those people connect, because it's one of the hardest things is devs trying to find artists and vice versa.
That's huge, and congratulations on quitting your IRL job to focus on Cool Cats full time. I think the whole community is very excited to have you moving into that phase of your career. That's super exciting.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's actually funny because, to be honest, we have one person to thank for the existence of Cool Cats. I can't name him, but it's my reason. It's my reason for my Linq's reason for branching out and looking at Faticorns and the blockchain, because we weren't happy with working with a particular person in our IRL job.
See, there's always a silver lining.
You guys should make him an Easter egg character somewhere hidden.
Oh, I like that.
That's also the funny thing for Clon and myself too. We had the dev who we were working with, who was more so a friend of a friend, who I think was just someone who volunteered to help us, like decided they didn't want to help anymore. And if that didn't happen, we wouldn't have even met Tom and Linq in the first place. So it's like, it's just all a perpetual, like, well, you got to go for it, and hopefully, good comes of it.
The stars align kind of thing. And then there's that bit of trust that, we've, like, for both sides, like, we both had freshly met each other, and it was like, all right, are we going to start this project together? And then it blows up, and you're like, okay, I guess we're a team now.
Yeah, at some point you don't even necessarily trust each other anymore. It's just like you're too busy. You're too busy to worry about trusting each other. It's like, who cares? Just build stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still amazed that you guys are two groups that just came together and then this exploded, and you're like, I guess we're basically like committed, like we're married now. This succeeded too much. We're in it together now.
I think it's even more than being married.
I definitely talk to the staff at Metaverse HQ more than my own girlfriend sometimes, and she reminds me of that pretty often. She's a member over there as well, so yeah.
What's that meme that's been going out recently? It's like, I left my 9 to 5 so I can now work like 24/7.
Yeah,
it's just the NFT space. It's just the NFT
that
space.
hurts inside.
No sleep.
Well, what you have to do is you have to basically bring your wife into the company, like I do.
Yeah.
So Pete Miles is my wife, and she's writing all of our fictional stuff because she's like an awesome writer. So,
she's been killing it, by the way, on the writing.
Yeah, I think she's working on the second part of the story, so that'll be pretty interesting.
Ooh, we woo.
Can't wait to hear another Linq story time.
I know. I hope my throat's like fully recovered.
Oh yeah.
So I had another question that if I don't ask it, I think the MVHQ crowd will skewer Mitch and I if I don't talk about it. obviously there's a lot of collaboration in the NFT community and artists supporting each other. Some artists come to you guys directly for collabs, or they ask for, questions or permission for it. Other times, kind of people run off with your artwork and do things that isn't approved. I don't necessarily want to ask about one of the more controversial ones of those, but we're huge fans of the project 10KTF in Metaverse HQ. And I wanted to ask you guys if you can talk at all about that project. I'm not necessarily saying you have to like endorse it, but I'm curious if they came to you up front, or if it was surprising to you, or if there's any communication between that project and your team. As because it's become pretty successful in parallel with Cool Cats. I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are on that project and how it relates to Cool Cats and maybe other projects that do similar work like that.
Well, I think the biggest thing for us to kind of project outwardly is obviously you've seen a lot of controversial things going on.
Yeah.
And one thing that we want to do is we want to protect the ownership and of the Cool Cats for the holders. So, people may or may not be aware of this, but if your IP constantly gets used and abused and warped, then over time, if you're not protecting your IP, you actually lose rights to that IP.
Right.
And you can see this with Pepe the Frog, which is something that Clon actually taught me about the other day. So the artist no longer owns the IP for that because it's been used and abused and warped so much. So because we've essentially, upon minting, made a promise to everyone who minted a cat that that's a license for you. You have that license, and we will protect the IP to maintain the value of your investment. We will go out and protect that IP and work to maintain the value of people's investments. So I mean, if a project does a full-on programmatic edit, they might take the cat and flip it and come out with flipped cats. That's not okay. If someone comes out and just recolors every asset, but every asset is still exactly the same in terms of the line work and things, again, that's not really okay. If someone comes out and produces something that kind of looks like Cool Cats, but they've redrawn it themselves, they've created a whole new set of assets, and they've like really put the work in and made it look unique, that's fine. That will count that as that's an acceptable derivative. That's absolutely fine. With regards to 10KTF, I'll be completely honest, I haven't looked at it yet. I've had my head down in code for so long. What's their Twitter, by the way?
Let's see. I think they might be 10KTF.
For context, Tom, it's the one where people, if you own a cat, for instance, you could be like, I want a backpack made with my cat on it. So it's actually almost more like commission stuff where each owner had to approve. So yeah, it falls into that category.
I have seen that one, and I love it. And basically, if someone is owning a cat and they come to an artist, might be I can't say that fast. Might be 10KTF and say, I would like you to put my cat on a skateboard, on a backpack, on shoes, is essentially classed as a commission's work, because the person who owns the IP license is essentially who's got the license for that cat, is taking it to the artist and saying, I'm giving you permission to use my license to generate an art piece. Totally thumbs up for that. We're hugely supportive of that. Because there's so many cool artists out there. The one that comes to mind immediately is the guy who turns people's cats into hands. I love that project because it's so quirky. You can totally see the resemblance between a cat and a hand, and it's just like they instead of a crown, they turn the crown into like a necklace or bracelet rather around the hand, and it's just amazing. So I'm personally all in favor of stuff like that. Yeah, commission basis derivatives, thumbs up all around.
So 6 Mil, it sounds like we're gonna have to invite Beeple himself if we're gonna get a confirmation on this 10KTF mystery. But Tom, thank you for breaking that down for us. I think that imitation is often a form of flattery, but there's a difference between inspired imitation and just straight off rip-offs. And with any popular collection, there's going to be people that, like, you can get Gucci at the Gucci store, or you can go, a couple blocks down the street to Canal Street and find the Gucci without, maybe it's missing another C. So um, I think there's a stark contrast as to every project that you guys are involved with. As far as your collection is concerned, it is still pristine and stern. But yes, Sixmo, I love that you asked that question. I didn't even think to ask that, bro. But I guess that shall remain a mystery.
I have a question. I have to ask this. I apologize in advance. There's a story in Metaverse HQ lore that Cole made a post during the Cool Cats drop about you guys, and somehow, I don't know, maybe someone can provide more context on this. The price got lowered and a sellout ensued. I don't know if anyone can provide more context on that story, but personally, that's one of my favorite Metaverse HQ moments ever. Got me into Cool Cats. I hadn't known about the project previously. It's just a great story.
It's a funny story, really.
So
you can take over.
Yeah. Oh, so we for those who don't know, when we officially opened the gates to minting, it was, I believe, 0.065, I think either 0.06 or 0.065 ETH, and we had a good initial inflow of a couple hundred people claiming the mint, but then we got bombarded in Discord. It was just like, hey, what if, like, if price was lower, these would probably go like hotcakes. And Cole indeed was one of the people who was like, guys, like, he was just, his opinion was, if we cut the price in thirds, that like it'd be an instant sellout. So we're all four of us, me, Clon, Tom, and Linq, and probably everyone else too, were just hanging out in the chat the whole time in Discord. And we're just like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And we're like, well, we want to sell out. We want to get in the hands of more people. So Tom retreated into the shadows and this has got to be so freaking stressful for him, because like we just had been putting in all this work, just went live, and then like 45 minutes to an hour in, we're like, should we change the price? So it was just like a very high adrenaline, high moment of just like rapid thinking, problem solving. But we went for it and made the adjustments. And maybe Tom wants to take over and to his perspective.
Stress, lots of stress. That was it. No, I mean, it was kind of a very frustrating spot to be in, because at the time, Linq was on holiday, and he is the kind of React guy, React front end dev, and I absolutely hate React. And obviously, any change that I made to the contract would have to be reflected in the React stuff as well. So I basically jumped into Linq's React code, and I was just like, I have no idea what any of this does. Like, and this was like whilst people were waiting for the mint to reopen, and Discord was people saying, when open, all this kind of stuff. And I had to jump out of everything voice related, so I could just focus without people like shouting in my ear. I was throwing it together and then trying to run as many tests as I could. And there was this particular event that I was scared of, which was when we actually got to the point that all the cats sold out, would that be reflected on the front end and the button would disable? Because I had no idea how to set that up in React, and I basically guessed on the spot and then didn't have time to test it properly and put it out. And at the time of the mint, I was watching the ticker go up and up and up, and I logged into the back end for our server, and I basically had the kill command ready in the command line to completely disable the entire website at the point that I realized that we'd sold out. So I was waiting with my finger over the enter button to execute the command, because I didn't want anyone's transactions to fire off when there are no cats left. And so I saw the number tick over and the button grayed out, and I was like, yes!
Literally then, at this point, I'm on like voice comms going, guys, can you hear me? Guys?
I can deeply relate to that story. I had that exact story happen to me, except trade cool cats for a ticketing marketplace, I was terrified as well. And I could only imagine having a blockchain involved in the situation only accentuated the heightened emotions.
Tom, you did amazing though. Like, because none of us knew the stress you were under. It just was like, oh man, these cats are so cute. Everything's going so well. There's no stress for anyone.
What's funny is I was going, oh, I bet Tom's so stressed right now. Good luck.
Also, Kenny, it's really funny you ask about Cole, because that is actually the one reason I found Cool Cats. Was I randomly saw that tweet from Cole, and so the whole reason I'm actually here is because of that one tweet.
That's amazing.
Life comes down to these moments, right? Like lowering the price, seeing a tweet. Like for me, seeing one of my friends who's very sharp tweet about Top Shot is the only reason I know about any of this stuff. I always ask myself, like, what if I missed that tweet? You know, how long would it had taken me to figure it out?
Yeah, it's amazing, those life moments that just like change everything in this space.
Yeah, that's
And the inverse of that, unfortunately, is like there's also so much noise. Like there's projects popping up left and right. Everyone's making legitimate things, illegitimate things. It's just so much going on that you have to be mindful of where you even want to put your time, like what discords you're in, who you're even following, because it just takes a lot of brain juice to synthesize all the information that goes on every day. So it's easy to have that FOMO feeling of like, what I missed today. Like I slept for 2 hours longer than I thought. Like did a mint happen? Why is gas so high? What's going on? What am I missing? And that's the excitement of it, and like I love that, but it's simultaneously just like, man, it's a lot. Like you just can't really drop your guard, kind of thing.
Wait, Elu, you're sleeping? In Metaverse, people are always joking of like, I took a nap and like it was terrible. I shouldn't have napped at all.
Facts.
I think that's one of the blessings and curses with Metaverse HQ is that you're so plugged into everything that's going on that you know everything that you miss. Like before Metaverse HQ, I could just kind of pop in here and there and I'd be like, wow, I'm an NFT genius, I made some money today. But in MVHQ, I'm like, oh my God, I missed 10 mints like when I went to the bathroom. And it's crazy how plugged you are into the ecosystem. And kind of going off that, I would love to know what your kind of opinion is from the outside of Metaverse HQ or how you found out about us. Obviously, I hope Beck has said mostly good things, but I'm just curious, what kind of led to this partnership and what is your perspective?
So I know about you guys through Cole and Mr. Tubby, and obviously Bex. I talk to Bex a lot, obviously. And she has nothing but amazing things to say about each and every one of you. So, I mean, it's an honor being here, knowing how much respect she has for you guys. So.
Oh, Tom, you're going to make me cry. I love seeing two groups I love so much coming together.
Yeah, and you guys are doing, like, there's such a need in the space, and to be some sort of like synthesizer of all the information. So super shout out to you guys being a platform to take all the noise and fine tuning it and being like, all right, here's the good stuff. Here's what you're actually missing. It's it's like a daily news feed that just helps a lot of people save time and energy.
I mean, one thing I really go ahead, Poop.
No, I'm sorry, Bex. You finish.
As you say, one thing that I think I really love about both Cool Cats and Metaverse Headquarters is just the community vibes that happen. Like Cool Cats, most people know, is known for being like really welcoming and supportive, and we all support each other and help each other. And Metaverse has been really amazing for that too, surprisingly, because as much as it seems from the outside like an alpha group, it's also like a group where we all celebrate each other's wins and support each other through their losses. And I think that's something that everyone needs in this space. And so I'm really grateful both communities exist.
I will just say.
So, I was just going to quickly say, like don't take offense because I'm literally so not plugged into the NFT space. I don't know who anyone is. I genuinely, I'm like, who's that now? Like, my brain cannot cope with it. There's too much information. I can't store everyone in there.
Linq just keeps busy making his puzzles and stressing us out with not being able to solve puzzles.
That's why the puzzles are so
these guys seem
good, though,
cool.
you know?
Who are they? Like, I don't know who anyone is. I barely know Tom.
I mean, you guys have never even met, and you've worked together for so long.
I know.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Like Linq and I have never met. We've probably worked together now for 8 years, something like that. I'm not sure.
Somewhat crazy, yeah.
Yeah, he only lives like maybe 2 hours away, and we've definitely never met Clon or Evan. So yeah.
Soon.
One day.
Yeah. That's the key point to take from this is I'm looking forward to getting to know everyone,
including Tom.
including Tom.
And he currently doesn't
Including
know
our
anyone
own team.
on here.
I look at myself in the mirror sometimes, and I'm like, "Wow, I look old."
Yeah.
Who is that?
Yeah,
guy?
who is
Who is that guy? Who is that good-looking guy in the mirror?
Yeah, today it wasn't just about Linq getting to know MVHQ. It was also about Linq getting to know Tom and the rest of the Cool Cats team.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you guys. How's your Cool Cats project going?
I hear I'm working on it. I'm designing the website, I think.
But yeah, just thanks, Bex, for saying all those kind things. I mean, it's definitely a vibe like we try to emphasize within MVHQ. And like Jacob said, I can't tell you how many things I've missed just from going to make a sandwich. It's kind of a joke, like, oh, JJ's going to make some food. Get ready to mince something hot, like Cryptodes or whatever. But just as important as it is to be plugged in, we kind of stress this eyes forward mentality. There's always going to be the next opportunity, and what really helps is celebrating each other's success. And I still remember when Bex actually told us that she got the job. It was like 20 minutes straight of spamming Pepe Sabers in the chat with her name spelled out. It was such a good vibe, and I can't tell you enough how much we appreciate Bex. Like, she brings such a good vibe to our community and to yours as well.
Oh,
We
thank
like
you
the
so much,
best.
JJ.
Yeah, we like the best.
Oh, you guys are all amazing.
We love you, Beck.
Let me ask you guys a question. What would you like to see from Cool Cat in the coming year?
TV show.
Ooh. I mean,
that Clon, you've got a lot of drawing to do.
Let's go. All
right, they requested a TV show. I guess we have to now.
That's how it goes.
This is how it starts.
An animated series does just seem like such a perfect fit, especially with the accessibility of the project. A kid show, something along those lines, I think would be really popular and really fun to watch.
Do you think we should get Clon to draw it, or do you think we should do live action?
Oh my god! We'll get
oh god! We'll get Chris Pratt as Blue Cat. We'll get.
We need the guy who did Smeagol.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis.
He also did the dragon, didn't he?
God!
Now I kind of want live action, but all the founders play their own cats.
Yes.
I want live
put on
action,
some
but I
shades.
want Linq to play every character.
I'll play the egg.
I'll play the egg.
It's gonna be some weird interpretive dance of Linq emerging from an egg,
just rolling around the stage.
I love it. Linq, if maybe your wife could do the storyboarding.
Oh yeah.
I feel like she's gonna mess with him so hard of what he's gonna have to do in the show.
Exactly that. It's awesome because it feels like just kicking it with y'all. Like, this is just another day at the office. I mean, how often are you guys engaging and like chilling and chatting like this? It feels like I'm talking with best friends.
Oh, we never talk.
I'll be honest, like, finding time to do stuff like this is really important, but we really struggle to do it. We're just so busy. Like, it's kind of like that thing of just never finding time to do stuff, which is quite important. We did it a lot before we launched, but then it's like that thing of blinking again, and we're like, wait, what's going on? Right.
Isn't that a phrase like the chef always eats last or something?
Yeah, I'm not even good at cooking.
It's like with Cool Pets and everything. The only times we do get to talk, it's usually something about development or what's going on in the space. We used to play video games a lot together and just kick it for hours and talk about productive things and a lot of things that weren't productive, but it was a lot of fun.
I remember we logged on Minecraft and we were like, "Oh, we're gonna play Minecraft every week. It's gonna be amazing." And we played Minecraft once.
We played that one day.
Yeah, once.
Yeah.
We found diamonds though, so that was cool.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing like a half-finished house that no one ever returned to.
It was a hole in a cave.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a hole in the ground.
Yeah,
Put a little cool cat flag there.
We'll get back to it.
I have an answer to that question. I'm a huge fan of the project, and I love the things you guys are already doing with paper cats and pets, and the new website. I would love to see that amazing feel of the new website and the artwork of the cats filter over into some of the popular metaverses we're seeing spring up. I'd love to be able to walk around in those metaverses as a cool cat avatar. I would love to visit a world where I can experience in 3 dimensions some of that great sort of town feel that I see on the new website. That's not a revolutionary idea. You guys may already be working on that along with the million other great things you're working on, but that's something that I would love to see further down the road.
Yeah, we just got to go and do like 5 or 6 more offerings so that we can afford some space on Sandbox now, right?
It's shot up like crazy, and that's my favorite metaverse. But yeah, it's so expensive right now.
Yeah.
What was weird is we were like talking like really early on with them, and then we were like, "Yeah, we kind of got this project we need to do though, so we'll speak to you again like soon." And then we were like, "Oh no, what have we done?"
Yeah. We had our chance.
Yeah. Well, if you need to borrow any land, I've got a little bit. Just let me know.
borrow. It's like
looks like
get an email the next day. Sorry, you've been evicted.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be like that at all. I promise. I swear. I'm not sure.
You've not kept up with your cool cat bills. Sorry, guys, you're out.
We need more milk.
Yeah.
One question I did have for the crew here. Obviously, the Cool Cats community has become one of the most well-respected and positively looked after communities in the entire NFT space. Is that something that you guys felt happened mostly organically? Were there some lumps along the way? Obviously, lots of joys and success as well. And has it evolved into kind of the community you guys had envisioned from the start?
So when we started, Linq and I, so as most of you probably don't know this, so combined, Linq and I have about 40 years of web dev and community building that we've done through various projects and things. And we have always known in the back of our minds that community, no matter what you're doing, has to come first, because if you don't have a solid, strong community and people that are really just loving what you're doing, you've got nothing. So we always launch Cool Cats saying all the time, community first, community first. And so we've been really trying hard to sculpt that. Obviously, as you said, moving along, sometimes you trip and stumble on things. I'm trying to remember some of the very specific. I remember one day I woke up and something had happened during the night, US time. And I woke up thinking, oh, it's going to be a really nice day. And I got to Discord and like 300 people were shouting at me about something. I can't even remember what it was now. I just spent the next 3 hours just trying to calm people down and just organize the Discord a bit better. So that was fun. And that was pretty early on. And I'm sure there's going to be more missteps moving forward. None of us are infallible. And community is extremely dynamic, and especially in the NFT space, as you guys said. So, you might go to the toilet and miss a drop, and that particular drop may contain some assets from Cool Cats. And so we have their entire Discord flood over to us saying, is that okay? And then our Discord, defending our position, and that kind of stuff happens. And you've got no idea because you weren't aware of a particular project dropping. And so it has to be very fluid. and kind of react to that stuff pretty quickly. Otherwise, it can snowball. So, yeah, it's tricky. It's definitely tricky managing a community.
Yeah, and one of our
Something about going to the toilet and missing a drop just sounds funny.
one of our main goals as well was like the family friendly thing, and it was just kind of cool when we were working on stuff and Clon just like showed us this blue cat, and it was just like I don't think we even spoke about it. It was just kind of a given from Clon that it was like, yeah, it's a family friendly character. Like, I may be wrong, but
yeah, basically, yeah, that's kind of how I mean, some of the old drawings on the cartoonist, I was in college and maybe a little more rebellious, but slowly, like, the character was always supposed to be kind of family friendly, and you don't see it smoking or drinking or any of that kind of stuff. And then we kind of, I think, made that like firm decision of like let's double down on being family friendly, and it's been really rewarding. I think all of us have seen it. Like someone is sharing it with their kid, and like even the funny post by Alexis Ohanian where he's buying a cool cat with his daughter, and his daughter is the one picking it out. Like it's little things like that that make being family friendly like all worth it. Just that, in a way, it kind of helps teaching the new generation of people, of kids, like this is what NFTs are. They're not that scary. Like, look at these funny little blue cats.
yeah, it
Yeah,
makes the
and a
community a
lot of
lot
the
like I think anyway, it makes the community a lot more positive because
Yeah.
in our
yeah
Discord we basically say like no swearing, no aggression towards each other. Like we make fun of each other, sure, but there's
yeah
when people are
keep it cool
aware of
though.
children, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll be a little bit careful with my wording.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
One thing that was really
that's
nice
just.
was, go ahead, Elu.
Oh, I just want to say real quick. I think it's the family friendly thing just sets us up to be more inclusive than exclusive. And there's a lot of I think the crypto space in general is filled with a lot of the sort of like degen, more. I'm gonna not say any particular adjectives to describe anything, whatever. But it's not necessarily family friendly. Is all I'm getting at. But
Edgy.
I think the art. I don't know what you said, but I'm sure it was a
Oh,
funny thing.
I said edgy. Is that a good word?
Oh, edgy, yeah, definitely, yeah, edgy. Whereas, yeah, I think the reason our community is so like positive and just inclusive and accepting is because people identify with the art, and the art is like Klon's saying, it is family friendly. It's for everybody. It's not like childish or anything, but it's just inclusive. It's not exclusive in that way, if that makes any sense. But you go, Bex.
Yeah, I was just gonna say one moment that was really nice was Link did a story time of some of the Cool Cats lore a couple weeks back in one of our town halls, and Seth, who's in both groups, he came up and was like, "Man, I could imagine my kids listening to this. This is the first time I felt like my kids are missing out on NFTs," and that was just a really really special, cool moment to hear.
Oh, so based off of that, I also got a tweet on like a reply on Twitter, basically saying I was in a long car journey and the kids were being a bit like bored or whatever, and then apparently I started reading the story and they were all like quiet and just listening. And they were like, "Thanks for
Aww,
that, you helped us get home."
it's amazing.
Win Link book on tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
The other really funny thing is, Link, do you remember that time you went into someone else's space? Like they invited you in, and then they were swearing and apologized to you, and you're like, "It's your space. You can do whatever you
Oh
want. It's
yeah, I
okay."
remember that. Yeah, they were like, "Oh, sorry, you're a cool cat." Yeah, sorry. I was like, "No worries. Like, I'm in your space, but I
Yeah,
appreciate it."
but people just like self moderate now around you guys.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a cool cat. Be good, guys.
Be on your best behavior.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you guys sharing that insight. It's obviously, like you said, such a big part of this NFT space is the communities we're in and the strength of them, and obviously, not just how popular the art is or the price or things of that nature. It really is the members of the community within the walls of the project, and how important that is to the success of it, right? So that being said, I think we're about a little over an hour and 15 into the spaces. We didn't have a strict time cap on this at all, but was wondering if you guys had a few extra minutes, maybe to field some Q&A here from the audience, unless you were hard capped for time.
Yeah, let's take some questions.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, all good here.
I'm coding right now anyway.
They never stop working.
Never a doubt.
I got my drawing tablet in front of me.
Nice.
Also, while we wait for questions, just for the founders, in case you guys don't remember, 6mil is our Cool Cats rapper. He's the one who came in and rapped that one time in Town Hall.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Yo.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
that
play
was really
every
good.
single day.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, completely embarrassed myself, but it was well worth it. I
Nah, it
love
was
the
not
town hall.
No, it was amazing.
It was so good.
Thanks,
So
Bex.
good if you want to freestyle again right now, but I won't put you on the spot.
Yeah, there may have been someone who encouraged me to, show up at the town hall and do that. I won't name any names, though.
Possibly, maybe, yes.
But it might be a hedgehog holding a chainsaw. You don't know which one.
You don't know which one. I don't know. Blue's a pretty cool color.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus I needed a new ringtone, so yeah.
Yeah.
6, we'll have to see these hidden talents sometimes in MVHQ.
Definitely.
So we have Seinfeld up here, who is a longtime, very valued MVHQ member. Obviously rocking the Cool Cats PFP here. So Seinfeld, go ahead. Good to have you up here, man.
What's up, y'all? I'm happy to be here. I love seeing two of my favorite communities come together and hold this wonderful space and just kind of talk through it and just chop it up. It's been beautiful to be here. I did want to come up and just kind of say one thing that I would love to see in Cool Cats' future, and I'm sure you guys kind of know, the Cool Cats team knows what's coming, more chainsaw content. If it was up to me, there would be a fifth element cool pet, and that would be a chainsaw pet. But, I figured it's a little late in the cycle for that, so maybe we might see something in the future.
I love that. It's like, oh, what type have you got? Air, fire? No, chainsaw.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so good.
We're going to have to make a whole new collection. It's just purely variations of chainsaws.
Exactly.
Cool chainsaws.
Cool chainsaws.
Yeah. If it was up to me, there would be another collection of just 10,000 generative chainsaws in Clon's art style. But yeah, just another thing I wanted to say is how much I've loved to see the evolution of where you guys have gone from the beginning, how you kind of started with just Clon's Blue Cat and kind of turned almost into like a hybrid of Disney and Pokemon, kind of doing a little bit of everything, trying to be inclusive and trying to build this community to be as as like optimal as possible, and not just the Cool Cats community, but the NFT community as a whole. So I wanted to thank you guys for that as well.
Thank you, Seinfeld.
Thank you.
Thank you, Seinfeld. Also, love the
Yeah,
letters
thank you.
background you got going on.
Yes.
Vinny's such an awesome artist.
We like
Special
the
shout out
letters.
Vinny Hager.
Oh yeah. If you've got a cool cat, I'm just saying, it makes for a great. Well, actually, anything. It makes for a great little backdrop or foreground.
Absolutely. He has done some stuff that's like, he's also been a great builder in this community, and his letters kind of helped link so many different PFP projects together, and I just love that. We love the Vinny.
We love
the Vinny.
Love it. Appreciate you coming up, Seinfeld. Thanks for taking the time, man.
Thanks for having me.
Next up here, we have Arctic Mosaic, who will get up here as a speaker to ask a question. Connecting. You there, Arctic?
Hey, just connected. Thanks for your patience.
Hey there, no problem. Thank you. Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm an MVHQ member and Cool Cat member, and it's pretty cool to be able to thank both communities in one fell swoop. So thanks to all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
I got a quick question, and maybe this isn't anything that wants to be talked about today, but in the past, the Cool Cats team has mentioned that all of their, event pieces, including some of the prize pieces, they'll all have utility. And I was waiting for the roadmap, which is just epic, by the way, to be announced. And I was just curious if any of that utility will play into the town roadmap with the pets and everything, with helping the pets grow.
So we actually have a little bit of fun utility coming for everything we've dropped pretty soon. But us giving utility across the board, we've always said we're never going to promise exactly what that utility is or when it's going to kick in, but everything will definitely have some utility. And we just don't want to spoil anything. Plus, to be honest, there's some stuff we've just dropped that we know we want to add utility. We just don't know what it is just yet.
Totally. Okay, well, great answer. Thanks again for everything, both teams, and I'll let someone else have my spot. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks for
Thank you.
coming.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks for
Thanks.
sharing,
Thank you.
brother. It doesn't look like we have any requests right now. If anyone wants to take a second here and stick their hand up, we can get you up if you have any questions for the team. One quick question I did have, I guess that wasn't touched on, just to circle back on the game aspect, is you guys have mentioned in the past the ability to rent out these cool pets that are coming out. Can you talk through some of the mechanics of that and the process of the pet rentals?
Sure. So let's imagine you've got your cool cat and you've got a pet. You've got your pet to final form. So that's you've seen, for example, the little guy as my PFP is a pet that someone's just repurposed into a hedgehog. So final form is what we're talking about there. And you happen to own 50 pets. You do not have the time to go through and manage all of those pets. So we've got this thing called the Adventurers Guild, and you can essentially list your pets in there, and other people can come in, take your pets. We don't obviously hand the token over to them. That would be silly. But they are able to use the pet to go and perform quests and actions and things. And then as a result of the outcome of that quest, a percentage of the call it prize or quest reward goes to the person who owns the pet, and the rest of it goes to the person who used the pet. So, I mean, guess one way to really think about it is an automated version of the Axie Scholarship program. So you don't actually have to mess around and figure out all the percentages and stuff. I believe this is something we have been toying with the ability for you guys to tweak your own percentages, so that people may want to use your pet because your percentage that you take is a little bit lower, so your pet gets used more often. We're still toying around with that a little bit, but it's just something that we're thinking about. So that's just a basic rundown of the kind of questing and pets. And one thing that we're also looking into, because we've said across the board, obviously people have different tier cats, and people are expecting great things for Exotic 2 or Exotic 1. And realistically, we don't want to give all the benefits. Like, we don't want to front load all the benefits into milk and gold, because those are the tokens that are fueling the economy. And if we break the balance of the economy straight from the get-go, like, that's just going to tank our project and everything like going on. So instead, what we've decided to do is spread the benefits of holding higher tier cats across different areas of the game system. So yes, having a higher tier cat does earn you more milk. It's just not a massive amount difference. But there's other things built into it. Say, for example, if you've got a high tier cat like an Exotic 2, you might have the ability to rent out 3 pets per cat, like 3 pets per exotic cat, whereas lower tiers can only rent out maybe 1 or 2 pets for their Exotic 2 cat. For their lower tier cat. So it gives it more value moving through the system. And there's lots of other bits like that we're kind of working in. So there's definite benefits to having a higher tier cat. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you. I don't know if anyone had a question to add on to that, but that was really insightful. Thank you very much for that.
You're very welcome.
Connor, welcome to the stage, my friend. I don't know if you had a question. I saw you with your hand up. Connor's Metaverse's very own. I don't know if you can speak, brother.
You can hear me okay, right?
I can hear you perfect, man.
Yeah, I'd like to say just huge congrats again to Cool Cats team. It's been a long time since we spoke. I think Cole pulled me up into that initial sellout Discord stage just to ask about like what was fun about minting Cool Cats, and it's crazy to see the growth. I also think I met my match here with Linq on our love for frogs, so that's a little dangerous territory there for me. But something I'd like to talk about is I think you have something great with these pets. Is there something we could see coming out like Animal Crossing style-ish, maybe? In terms of like owning a house.
Well, we don't have any massive details, but one thing we've got on the beta at the moment is a button called Houses.
Okay, yeah, because I did see a picture of that, and in my mind, what I'm envisioning is something like an on cyber type style house, but you know, in the Cool Cat style and all that. Because you have all these lovely items, and I see you have a frog, and I just want to fill up a house with frogs. So
yeah. We'll DM later about the frogs.
Okay.
Yeah, Linq, you and Connor need to talk frogs. The frog love is so much between both of you.
Connor, he said slide in his frog DMs, brother. You hear that?
Yeah, those are always open.
Yeah, I just said it the family-friendly way.
Yeah. Of course. And then another quick one was just, do you have any like basis for inspiration on what those came from? Like any other games that pulled into this whole cool pets thing?
There's loads, yeah. Like Animal Crossing is something you brought up, which like it is a small amount of inspiration. Tom used to play a lot of Neopets.
I thought so on that one for sure.
Pokemon, Digimon, all those sort of cool games, like all the real
Stardew Valley, perhaps.
Stardew Valley, yeah, that was another one. All those kind of games, like that are very nostalgic for us. We're trying to bring them back.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear because in my mind, I can already envision what this is going to be like, and it just makes me so excited. So thank you.
Cool. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, we love the frogs.
we really do love the frogs. And the cats. But
the cats as well. Yeah, sure.
That's a different level down.
Nice.
I feel like the rest of us need to leave now, and just you guys can just hang out, talk frogs.
Yeah, we'll start a frog space at some point.
Yeah, I'm a bunch of ribbits.
But yeah, thank you. If you want to pull someone else up, you can put me back down. That's all from me. So thanks again.
Cheers. Thank you.
I think you're the last one, Connor.
Oh, okay. Well, that's perfect.
All right. Well, to cap it off, want to give another massive thank you to the Cool Cats team for allowing 100 whitelists on the allow list for Metaverse HQ token holders. So if you are in our community, if you are in our voice chat, performing 24/7 qualitative research in the trenches, degenning with us, Cool Cats team has allowed 100 whitelists for us, and we can all battle to the death for it. I'm kidding. I think, Poop, what do we agree upon? Some sort of giveaway situation? We're going to use the hell out of our bot that we've built. So we're excited to give these away, and thank you so much to all of you for making this happen. And Becks, I got to give an incredible shout out to you again. I know I give you love all the time, and you're probably sick of it, but you really are an incredible liaison for both our community, and it seems like Cool Cats as well. And just got to thank you tremendously for putting us all together in this room today and allowing this vibe to happen. I'm smiling from from cheek to cheek. This is such an incredible vibe, and I've learned a lot. So thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm really happy we could make this happen. It was really nice seeing everyone come together, and it's been such a fun, chill time. You guys all came in really prepared with questions, and Cool Cats team rocked it as always. So yeah, thank you for hosting us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thanks. This was really fun, really enjoyable.
And shout out to Becks as well, helping that put together.
We like the Becks.
We love
Yeah,
the
we like
Becks.
the Becks.
You guys are too nice.
All right, for those of you tuning in, thank you for doing so. And this is going to be the start of hopefully many conversations with the coolest cats in the metaverse. Have an incredible superlative Sunday, and we will see you in the metaverse.
Talk to you guys.
We like the cat.
We like the
Thank
cat.
you,
We
guys.
love the
We like
cat.
the cat.
I love when the audio just
See you guys. Have a good one.
crumbles.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
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 Cheers, everyone.